In this video, we're going to talk about taking this absolute value graph and vertically stretching it by a factor of, let's say, 3. So let's say we have g of x equals 3, basically, times the absolute value of x. All right. So let's make our little table here, and I'm just going to make a few points here. I'm going to have -1, 0, and +1, and then g of x. All right. So if I have -1, of course, when I pull -1 out of the absolute value sign, it becomes +1. So 1 times 3 is 3. And of course, 0 times anything is 0. So 0 times 3 is 0. And then I bring the absolute value of 1 out, and it just becomes 1. 1 times 3 is 3. So now when I graph this equation, look what happens. When x is -1, y is 3, way up here. 0, 0 will stay the same. And when x is 1, y is 3. Now, can you tell what's happened to our slope, by the way? So the slope now becomes 1, 2, 3, up 3 over 1. So let me make another set of points. Up 3 over 1. Here I can do the same thing. Up 3. And of course, I have to go to the left one. Now, can you see, if I can draw this carefully, what has happened to our graph? It became steeper. Do you see that? The slope is steeper. Instead of just 1x, it's now 3. And this graph has been vertically stretched. It's as though I'm putting 2 strings on this graph and pulling it up. And when you pull it up, it stretches it. Can you see that? All right, let me try one more with you. What happens if I want to say, let's say h of x. How about if we want to say h of x equals 1/2 of the absolute value of x. All right, 1/2 of the absolute value of x. All right, what if I choose for these numbers x, and now I'm going to have h of x. Okay. How about if I choose for this? For my first point, I'll choose -2. For my second point, I'll choose 0 again. And for my next point, I'll choose 2. All right, when x is -2, I take that out. What's half of 2? Well, it's 1. Okay. What is 1/2 of 0? 0, of course. And what is 1/2 of 2? It's 1. All right, so let's graph this and see what happens. When x is -2, y is 1. Or g of x is 1. This point stays the same. And when x is 2, y is 1. All right, now look what our slope is. It's up 1 over 2. So I can do another point here. Up 1 over 2. Matter of fact, I can do another one. Up 1 over 2. Let's see if I can draw that. Up 1 over 2, whoops, up 1 over 2. Now, see what's happened with this? This has been vertically shrunk. This was vertically stretched up. This has been vertically pushed down. We call it compression, we call it shrinking. Now, in all cases, the domains are all the x's on all of these graphs. The x values, the domains, are all the real numbers. And again, the range in all of these is x is greater than or equal to 0.